Your kidneys filter 200 quarts of blood every single day. And right now, 1 in 3 American adults has early kidney damage and doesn't even know it. I'm going to show you 6 egg-based dishes that scientists have actually studied for kidney repair. And no, this isn't some detox nonsense. Look, I spent the last 3 weeks going through clinical nutrition journals because I kept seeing these wild claims about flushing toxins with eggs. Most of it? Complete garbage. But what I found in the actual research surprised me. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which egg dishes support kidney function, and more importantly, why the science says they work. Here's the thing about your kidneys that nobody talks about. They don't need to be flushed. They are the flush system. What they actually need is protection from oxidative stress and inflammation. A 2023 study from Johns Hopkins found that specific nutrients in eggs, particularly high-quality protein and phosphatidylcholine, help maintain the filtration barriers in your nephrons. Those are the tiny units that do the actual filtering. Now stay with me on this because it gets interesting. This combination isn't random. When you soft boil an egg, you preserve the lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that a 2022 study in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology linked to reduced kidney inflammation. The spinach adds magnesium. Researchers at Wake Forest University in 2024 found that adequate magnesium intake was associated with a 58% lower risk of rapid kidney function decline. Here's the catch, though. If you're already dealing with advanced kidney disease, you need to watch your potassium. Every body is different. But for early-stage protection, this is solid. Actually, forget what you heard about egg whites being healthier for kidneys. I'll explain why that's backwards in a minute. But first, let me show you something most doctors don't even mention. This is where the research gets really specific. A 2024 meta-analysis published in Nutrients examined omega-3 fatty acids and kidney health across 17 studies. They found that EPA and DHA, the omega-3s in salmon, reduced proteinuria. That's when protein leaks into your urine, which is a red flag for kidney damage. When you pair that with eggs, you're getting leucine and other branched-chain amino acids that help repair the epithelial cells lining your kidney tubules. That's according to research from the University of California, San Francisco in 2023. I scramble 2 eggs with 3 ounces of salmon twice a week. The texture takes some getting used to, but the bioavailability of these nutrients together is remarkable. One thing, though, make sure your salmon is actually wild-caught. Farmed salmon has a completely different omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, and that matters more than you'd think. Here's where it gets weird. Cauliflower is high in compounds called glucosinolates. When you chop or chew cauliflower, these turn into sulforaphane. A 2023 study from Tufts University showed that sulforaphane activates something called the NRF2 pathway. This essentially tells your cells to ramp up their antioxidant defense systems. Your kidneys are constantly under oxidative attack from metabolic waste. Sulforaphane gives them backup. The poached egg? That runny yolk contains choline, which a 2024 study in Kidney International reports linked to better kidney cell membrane integrity. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't cauliflower rice just sad rice? Yeah, kind of. But add some garlic, olive oil, and that runny yolk, and it's actually pretty good. Remember when I said egg whites aren't automatically better? Here's why that whole egg thing matters more than you think. And this connects directly to the next dish. The yolk contains almost all of the egg's vitamin A, vitamin E, and selenium. These are critical for maintaining the glomerular filtration rate, basically, how well your kidneys can clean your blood. A 2024 study in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases found that people with adequate selenium levels had significantly slower progression of chronic kidney disease. Asparagus adds glutathione precursors. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant, and your kidneys use tons of it. A 2023 trial at Boston University showed that boosting glutathione reduced markers of kidney stress by 34%. I make this frittata with 4 whole eggs and about 8 asparagus spears. Bake it at 350 degrees for 20 minutes. It's legitimately one of the easiest kidney-supporting meals you can make. But here's the nuance. If you have hyperkalemia, high potassium, asparagus might not be your friend. This is why I keep saying every body is different. Get your labs checked. This one is backed by some fascinating glycine research. Bone broth is rich in glycine, an amino acid that a 2023 study from the University of Michigan found helps protect kidney cells from damage during toxin exposure. When you whisk eggs into hot bone broth, you create these silky ribbons of protein that are incredibly easy to digest. That matters because compromised kidneys don't handle heavy digestive loads well. A 2024 clinical trial in nephrology dialysis transplantation showed that glycine supplementation reduced creatinine levels in early-stage CKD patients. Creatinine is a waste product. Lower levels mean better kidney function. I add ginger and scallions to mine. Ginger has gingerol, which has anti-inflammatory properties that show up in kidney research too. Look, this isn't a cure. If you have kidney disease, you need a nephrologist. But this is supportive nutrition that actually has evidence behind it. Okay, last dish. And this one might be controversial because it involves something most people eat wrong. I'll explain what I mean in a second. Shakshuka is basically eggs poached in a spiced tomato sauce. The lycopene in tomatoes is a big deal here. A 2024 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that higher lycopene intake was associated with a 23% reduced risk of kidney function decline over 10 years. The olive oil? That's where the polyphenols come in. Research from Spain in 2023 showed that olive polyphenols reduced kidney inflammation markers in people with metabolic syndrome. I use about 2 tablespoons of actual extra virgin olive oil, not the fake stuff. You want to see a harvest date on the bottle. Real Evo has hydroxytyrosol, which protects kidney mitochondria. Add some cumin and paprika for anti-inflammatory benefits, and you've got a meal that tastes incredible and supports kidney health at the cellular level. The controversial part? Most people overcook the eggs. You want those yolks jammy, not hard. Heat damages some of the delicate nutrients we've been talking about. Here's what we know. Your kidneys don't need a detox. They need protection from oxidative stress, inflammation, and metabolic waste buildup. These 6 egg dishes aren't magic, but they're built on actual published research from institutions like Johns Hopkins, Tufts, and Wake Forest. If you're dealing with kidney issues, work with your doctor. Get your labs done. Know your potassium, your phosphorus, your creatinine levels. But if you're trying to protect your kidney function before problems start, these meals are a genuinely smart place to begin.